Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have another one of these diamonds in the rough for you. His name is Anthony Kendall. He's a cornerback out of Baldwin, Wallace University. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, man. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So, Baldwin Wallace University, Division III school. Not a lot of people know where it's at. Hopefully we can put things on the map there for people so that they know where that's at. But Anthony, you're a guy who I feel like a lot of people are trying to get to know lately because you completely destroyed your pro day. So let's go ahead and get things started. Why don't you set the stage and tell us where you're from, and we'll just kind of walk from there.
Awesome. So, my name is Anthony Kendall. I'm from Port Richey, Florida, over on the Gulf Coast, about 45 minutes out from Tampa. Raised over here. I was actually born in Texas, El Paso. And yeah, man, I'm a Florida boy.
So, talk to me about you in high school. Again, you're a cornerback now. And I know that you're very active in high school, doing like every single sport imaginable. But talk to me about your football, days there in high school, and then we'll try and touch on some of those other things.
Yeah, so in high school, I came in pretty undersized, little guy out on the field, about 5'6", 120 pounds, soaking wet. And I was a guy, out there just trying to play, man, trying to compete. And so going into my freshman year, I worked hard, and coach gave me an opportunity to play on the field. I ended up, gradually progressing, trying to work out, get a little stronger. But it wasn't until my senior year when I transferred to River Ridge once I started actually hitting my growth spurt. So I originally started at Anklo High School over in Holiday area, and then I transferred my senior year to River Ridge, and that's over in Port Richey area. But yeah, so, senior year, kind of a late bloomer, started actually packing on some weight, and then got some interest from a couple of D3 schools, and, the rest was history.
Yeah, I guess, hitting that growth spurt late may have stunted your recruitment, so to speak. So, again, like I had mentioned, you're very active in a whole lot of other sports as well. Per my notes, some basketball, some track, a little bit of everything. Talk about those sports, man, and your involvement in that.
Yeah, so I always pride myself on, trying to do everything I can as far as athletically. I like to play basketball. My mom and dad both play basketball, and so I thought I'd give it a try. I ended up doing track. I love track. Track was probably one of my favorite sports just because you meet so many different people, and it's a long day. So that was one of the funnest sports I did in high school. And then I also did weightlifting. Weightlifting and track both translated, and basketball, honestly. And so I kind of just wanted to stay active, stay in shape, and meeting people along the way, different coaches, form different connections like that. It all went hand in hand, and I pride myself on having that versatility, being able to do pretty much anything I could put my mind to.
So obviously you chose to pursue the game of football. So I got to ask the why question, man. Why do you love this game of football?
It's the first sport I ever played. I fell in love with it. I started at 6 years old, and I had the most, you know, I had the most drive to want to get better at it. I was undersized, like I mentioned earlier, and a lot of people kind of wrote me off in that aspect. And so it made me want to prove others wrong, as well as, prove it to myself that I could go out there and compete. And then once I hit that growth spurt, it was kind of like, man, finally I'm able to go out there and really perform like how I know I can perform. And so it just helped out a lot. And like I said, I fell in love with it the day I started playing.
You've mentioned a couple times again, late bloomer with that growth spurt, but let's tell the viewers your current height and weight. Go ahead and let people know that.
Yeah, so I'm about 5'11", and I'm about 180.
Yeah, so again, you're not runt you used to be in high school. It's essentially what I wanted to
Oh,
get out
nah,
there for
nah,
people. So,
definitely
um,
not.
talk to me about Baldwin Wallace. I mean, obviously that's where you ended up going to school. So, talk to me about that university and what makes it so special for you.
Yeah, so when I took the visit, it was a really nice area. I felt like it could be a home away from home. The football facilities, the stadium, the coaching staff, the players, it all felt very family oriented. And so when I took my visit, I knew a couple of guys who were already up there. They ran me through the program. Coaches brought me to the office, and it felt like I could make a solid career out of this. And as far as the schooling aspect, they're very good academically, top in the Midwest, over in Ohio, and so it made the decision pretty easy going through that process.
And like you had mentioned, I mean, obviously, solid academic, institution. So, what did you major in? I mean, what's your status on that front?
The business of healthcare was my major, and I minored in entrepreneurship. I just graduated this December.
Cool. So, hey, it's cool to say that you finally got that degree. So I don't know, man. Hypothetically, what do you see yourself doing with that degree? Do you see yourself using that degree at all once your football days are done?
Yeah, definitely. I got a lot of business insight. I want to open up my own business athletically, training facilities. I do want to get into real estate as well. And so hopefully getting this football started can open other doors when it comes to that point in time. So I definitely gained a multitude of knowledge with the college degree that I did receive. But I am trying to pursue this football first.
Of course, of course. So let's go ahead and talk some football. Again, part of the secondary there at Baldwin Wallace. So go ahead and talk to me about that defense and your role there.
Yeah, so defense, hard no defense. Coach Hilbert, man, this guy wants to pack the box and put pressure on the quarterback. He puts a lot of trust in us as a team, and so it makes it that much more easier to go out there and perform. He likes to put guys on islands. My role in particular out there was just to go out there and get the job done. I was a guy to count on as well as everybody else. You wanted to be able to look to your left and right and know that you could trust the person next to you, and came with a lot of practice, a lot of film study. And so BW football, true meaning of grit, BW grit. And so that's kind of how we cultivated our program as far as when we went out there on the dark side defense.
Gotcha. And then, of course, as a corner, talk about you and your own personal experience. I mean, are you an outside corner? Do you come in and play that nickel role? Talk about your overall experience.
Yeah, so freshman year I came in, coach found a place for me on the defense as a nickelback and money package. So I got some experience guarding the slots, guarding the tight ends. Sophomore year, I ended up transitioning over into the boundary corner. A lot of quick throws to the corner. The quarterback, it's easier throw for them. So I was the guy to be guarding that. And then my junior year came along and I switched over to free safety. Coach wanted me to go ahead and get some experience at that, play my role there where the team needed me. And then I transitioned back into the boundary corner come my senior year. So I have a lot of versatility when it comes to playing the nickel, playing the free safety and corner. And it was exciting, man. It was cool to experience.
Interesting. So that versatility, I mean, is that something that you kind of hang your hat on? I mean, what do you feel is like the best thing you have going for you as a prospect?
And my adaptability, I'm able to, roll with the punches. I'm able to play where the team needs me. I'm a team player. And just knowing those different types of positions makes me very versatile at the next level to be able to fit any type of NFL scheme. My football IQ is up there. I'm able to pick up a playbook and run with it. And so I do hang my hat on being able to be that versatile.
Cool. So, when you see yourself, obviously in this position, I mean, you're at the footsteps of, being an NFL guy. But I know at some point or another, I mean, you obviously had to be a fan of the game and maybe I don't know, have your heroes as a little kid. So who were you watching as a little kid, man? I mean, were you who were you a fan of?
Yeah, Adrian Peterson, man, that was my favorite guy to watch growing up. I was actually a running back at Little League, and so I would always watch Adrian Peterson highlights. Tavon Austin was also another guy who, when I got into middle school, high school, I started watching a lot of. And those two right there, I would say I grew up, idolizing and wanting to be like.
Cool. Well, I'm not sure if you're the Adrian Peterson type, but I mean, certainly Adrian Peterson brings I guess just kind of the mentality, man. I mean, he was so dominant as a runner and he didn't let anything stop him. I mean, even some injuries holding him back. I mean, still at the top of it at his given position for several years, but the one other guy you had mentioned there, Tavon Austin, even though he's a an offensive guy, I mean, he's actually a pretty good special teams guy too. So let's go ahead and chat about some special teams for a little bit. Talk about your overall involvement with special teams and maybe even your approach and attitude.
Yeah, so special teams cause special plays. I'm a big special teams guy. I believe in giving max effort on those types of teams. Growing up, I was always a special teams player, a gunner, guy to go on down there and make a play, punt block, punt return. I knew that those were roles that some people may not necessarily wanted to do, and so I pride myself on doing the things that nobody else wants to do. Going down there and making big plays, game altering plays. That could be the difference between a win and a loss, and so I take very much pride in that.
Gotcha. Anthony, I want to ask you a question, which I feel like a lot of guys at small schools get. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it your way. You're a D3 guy, man. What do you got to say to people that may have doubts about you as a prospect because of where you come from?
Thank you. Thank you for doubting me. Growing up, I've always been the underdog. I've always been doubted. And I don't think I would be here today without those types of people. Greatness isn't anything without hate. And so, and all the people out there, D3, small schools, keep working, keep your head down and work. And, good things will happen. Hard work, pays off in the end. And, I'm not there just yet, but it's great to see the fruits of my labor coming to light. My name to be even affiliated in the same sentence with the NFL. It's always been a dream. But yeah, man, thank you.
Sure. So, hey, if you're good, the NFL is going to find you, man. I mean, if you're D1, D2, D3, NAIA, or international, I kid you not, the NFL guys are going to find you, somewhere. So, but Anthony, you put together a solid season actually this past year. Ended up being an All-American, which is awesome. Batting down a whole lot of balls and being very active in that secondary. So let's go ahead and talk about some of your best moments, maybe even from like this season. So give me some of your own personal highlights.
Yeah, so I'd say that, the Mountain Union game, last game of the season, was my most exciting game. A lot was on the line. My family, actually, all of my family was able to come to that. It was my first time my whole family was able to come. And so going in that game, I was having to guard the number one receiver, traveling, sideline to sideline, guarding him. And I knew that it was going to be a big responsibility. I knew that my team counted on me in that aspect because, Mounder, I call them purple team, but heavy on the pass. And so that game was the most exciting, man. It was raining, snowing a little bit, but that game was definitely, it didn't turn out the way that we wanted to as a team. We were down 17-0 by the fourth quarter, came back 21-17, 4 seconds left on the clock. Ended up, unfortunately, catching a game-winning touchdown. But I would say that was my most favorite game, my most favorite moment, just because I had my family in the stands and the people I care about watching, and I performed pretty well as well.
Well, going toe to toe with Mount Union is pretty cool. I mean, even though the end result wasn't exactly what you wanted, but they're a great team. So they obviously wouldn't be in the position that they are, having good quality talent and great seasons without it. But let's give a shout out to actually some of your teammates. So obviously you got yourselves in a position where you can compete with those guys. So who's been some of your most impressive teammates over the years?
Yeah, man. First, John Murray, running back, the dog, man, battled a bunch of injuries. And so, it's cool to see the perseverance, him handle that adversity. Another guy, Darius Stokes, he actually came in with me as a freshman. We came in together. And so we were going head to head all the time during practices. A guy who played at the other sideline with me at corner, Robbie Williamson, he transferred actually later in that season. And he's also, a dog. So if anybody's watching, go ahead and check him out. Couple of D linemen, Jordan Smith, he's another guy over that way. Vontae Jackson, both animals, keep on the lookout for them. And I can name a bunch more, but a lot of my teammates, I can name the entire team, but it's different culture over there at BW, man. And Coach Hilbert's done a great job, getting us all jacked up and ready to play for him. And so, shout out to BW.
Great. So Anthony, I want to talk about your pro day. Your pro day, you absolutely exploded, making people want to, I guess, figure out who this guy is. And so I kind of want to at least list some of those numbers, and we'll go ahead and talk about them. So you might have different numbers. So if you do, I apologize, but this is what I was able to, pull up. So let's hear this. 44440, I guess, more or less. 39, almost 40-inch vertical. And the one that, at least for me, is the most impressive is a broad jump of an 11.1. Bro, for real, these are fantastic numbers. How did you get there?
Thank you. A lot of training, and I was always gifted athletically. And so working out, jumping around, I always could do dunks and do things that not the average person could do. But it was just that consistency, staying in the weight room, staying on the field, doing the drills that coaches are teaching me. And in preparation towards the pro day, I actually was working with Coach Coleman over at Game Speed Performance Academy at Solon. If you're not training with Coach Coleman and you're in the Cleveland area, you're doing something wrong. So go ahead and check him out. But yeah, so just a lot of hard work and just trusting what my body could do.
Cool. So you knocked that out of the park, took care of that pro day. A lot of people now trying to figure out again who you are, but what do you got going on now? I mean, a pro day's out of the way. What's happening these days?
Yeah, so I actually just landed in Florida. I moved back in with my mom, hanging out with my brothers. Actually gonna go ahead and attend the Tampa Bay Buccaneers local pro day. I just got the email yesterday. I'll be attending that on Thursday. Just getting my body more prepared, after traveling and doing that. Just eating right, staying mentally focused, continuing to work hard, more geared focus towards DB drills and DB work now that the combine or pro day is over. But I just got the email yesterday, and so I'm kind of shifting back into that pro day mentality. It's going to be exciting to be able to get in front of those NFL coaches and be in their facility. So I'm very excited.
Awesome. Sounds like a great opportunity. Anthony, I kind of want to step off the football field for at least a minute or so and give people some sense as to who you are outside of a football player. So give me something about you that you want to share, whether it be your hobbies, interests, passions, or anything else that you got going on. So give me something about yourself.
Yeah, man. So I'm the oldest of four. I'm a big brother. first and foremost. I have a wonderful little brothers, man, are all aspiring to be who they are. I'm a guy, high character guy, with a lot of integrity. I actually just finished a project with Dr. BB. Shout out Dr. BB. We formed a book drive and we ended up raising over 500 books. So that was something that was going on my senior year. One of the biggest things that I orchestrated with Dr. BB. And so I hope to take that to the next level and be able to be that role model for not only my brothers, but other kids around the world. And just to show that, I'm a high character guy and, I love what I do.
Cool. Great to, be able to, I guess, use football as a platform for something even greater. So kudos to you for doing that. Let's run down a couple favorites just for fun. Favorite movie?
Man. Favorite movie?
You're allowed to
Just
give
got done watching Creed. Yeah, Creed 3 was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. And let's get a football movie in there. The Gridiron.
Gridiron Gang? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
How about favorite breakfast cereal?
Oh, breakfast cereal. Gotta go with Frosted Flakes.
Are you a Pepsi or a Coke guy or something else?
Gatorade. Gatorade or water. I don't drink pop.
All right, that's good for you, man. I think for some people that's very hard to make that decision in their life, but I mean, very very good for you. So talk about your hometown. I mean, again, I know you're bouncing around a little bit, but talk about your hometown a little bit.
Yeah, so Newport Richey, raised over here, played Salvation Army up the way, suburban area, and it's an area where not a lot of people really come out of, and so it's exciting to see people like Marquez Cooper, a basketball player, his little brother Jalen Cooper, and a couple of other people, but that was just people in my intermediate group that they're just getting out. But as far as the area goes, man, it's a cool area, but nothing too much really going on over here, man. So I figured I'd go ahead and take the chance and visit Ohio.
Hey, that works. I mean, and Ohio in its own right, not bad area. So, Anthony, you're in a position right now where you're on the radar of a lot of NFL teams. I mean, again, we've already mentioned about you, your career, and what you have going for you right now. As we close up shop, I want to give you an opportunity to talk directly to all those scouts and tell them why you would make a great addition to their team. So go ahead and hit them with your pitch.
Yeah, so I'm a high character guy. I'm a ball player, make plays. I'm a guy who can go out there and give it his all. I'm a student of the game. And if you're going to invest your money into me, you're going to invest your time into me, I'm going to add value to your organization. I'm coming from D3, but I'm ready to play at that next level. And so, don't hesitate to call me. Don't hesitate to take the chance. I'm a guy that you can count on.
Great. Well, Anthony, I mean, we know you're a D3 guy, may not be the tallest, but damn it, you're an awesome athlete, man. I mean, you put together a fantastic pro day, putting yourself on everyone's radar. And hopefully we've given them at least a glimpse of you as a person, as we all just kind of, watch you progress into the pros. So best of luck to you. All right.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Sure, no problem. Once again, Anthony Kendall, defensive back out of Baldwin, Wallace. Check this guy out.